ugly as Dash of Dave. He'll take some scraps and bits of this, turn them into something you can't miss. Junk journals, tapes, and crafts galore. He'll have you begging, show me more. Oh, Dash of Dave, oh, what a sight. Mixing colors, day and night.
Hi everyone, it's Dash of Dave here, and I'm back for another crafty video. So, today I have decided I am going to make the little, not inkwell, I was going to make a little, what's it called? Paint palette. That's the word, paint palette, for here. So I'm going to make a watercolour paint palette to go in here. I think I might make some envelopes to go in there because, you know, I was thinking if you were on a field trip, you'd find things you want to stuff in an envelope that you'll put in your journal later, etc. You might want to do some watercolours, and you don't want to put the things in the wet watercolour thing because it would get horrible. So anyway, there's a whole storyline that goes on in my head. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a little paint palette. So I'm going to put this to one side for the time being, and I have decided, well, no, not decided. I've had a bin. Should we try this again? I've been having a think about what I'm going to do to make this. So what I thought is if I make a box, a lidded box for them to go in, that way then you can kind of close it up. We'll make it look kind of old, but we'll make it out of craft card because I can make it look old. Or I can make any card look old, to be fair, but craft card just has that aged look about it anyway. It almost looks leathery when you've like aged it a bit. And I know you can make faux leather, but I'm not going to make faux leather today. I've done that probably done it about 4 times in my timeline. So, you know, go and have a look at the previous versions if you want to make some faux leather. But we're just going to make something look leathery. So, what we need to do, actually, I've put this away and I need it now. I need to take some measurements first. So, let's get physical. I want to get physical. No, I don't want to I certainly don't want to get physical. I'm not kidding with you. I'm not getting physical. So, I was speaking to somebody this week one of our suppliers, and we were chatting on Teams like you do, and she'd said that we were talking about what we were going to do at the weekend, and she'd said she's a cyclist and she's going to go cycling, and then she was going to do a run the following week. I'm like, yeah. And she says, you know, she loves like the physical challenge of it, and likes the speed of like being able to run. And like I said to her, if I'm going fast, it's because I'm falling. And this just came out of my head, and this is the kind of thing that I do all the time. I just say something out loud that most people would say, yeah, don't say that, Dave. But it came out, so, you know, there we are. So, so she had to laugh about that, the fact. Because most people say, you know, if you ever see me running, you better start running too, or, you know, if you ever see me running, you just need to be able to run faster, all of that. But like, it just came out with, I don't know where it came from. Anyway, shared it with you. Now I feel twice a fool. And once, twice, 3 times a fool. But I love you. Unless you do something to upset me. Don't give me a reason not to. Shut up, Dave. Just shut up for 5. Well, no, try a bit longer. Right, we'll go for 4 3/4 wide. Is that right? 4 3/4. It is. By. It's going to be a bit less than 4, isn't it? If it was 4, it's going to be a very snug. So let's go for less than 4. Let's go for 3 and I've forgotten what they are. 16ths. 3 by 3 and 16ths. What's that? So 15 16ths. 15 16ths. Yeah, that is right, Dave. By a depth of well, it's a depth of 1¼ so if we go 1 and an eighth, 1 and an eighth, that's an eighth there, Dave. Yeah, so 1 and an eighth by 1, no, 1 and an eighth, sorry. Brain's taxed today. Do we want to go 16th? No, let's go an eighth. So instead of 15 16ths, because I can't even say it, let's go 7/8. So 4 3/4 by 3 7/8 by 1 1/8. Okay, so good luck with that, Dave. Okay, so this is going to require some maths. So deploy the maths. There should be an alert goes off, etc. But there isn't. So here we go. So we have a box. So this is a top view, and we've got some sides. Oh, sorry, I have to draw it out like this so that I can kind of think about it. And we've got that bit there. So let's just extend that out because then they will be our flaps. So this bit here, so this is our 3 7/8. We know that the sides are going to be 1 1/8. Do we want to go 1 1/8 or do we want to go 1? No, let's go 1 1/8. 1 1/8. And we also know that that side is 1 1/8. Okay, so that makes, that's 3 4 5. Let's do the numbers that we can do first. So 5. Then we've got 7/8 plus an 8. That's 6, and then 6 1/8. So 6 1/8. Then we've got, again, this is 1/8. 1 1/8. This is 1 1/8. And then we know that this one is 3 3/4. Sorry, 4 3/4. So we know that this is 4 5 6. 3/4 is, what's the other way to say 3/4 of an inch is 1 2 3 4 5. 1 2 3 4 5 6. So 6/8. So 6/8 of an inch is the equivalent of 3/4. So 6/8, 7/8, 8/8. So that's a full single digit. So that's 4, 5, 6, and that's 7. So we know it needs to be by 7. Then we want, we know that the depth is 1 1/8. So we need it to be the card that we're cutting. We're going to do 2 pieces at 6 1/8 by 7, and that will give us 2 pieces. But if I use my scoreboard, this one, this is can't remember. Yeah, so this is an actual measurement, and then the box base is slightly smaller. So that means we can configure it to being the right size, but the box, making the box base on this side means that it's just slightly smaller and will fit inside the lid, in theory. So, of course, I'm not going to get 6 1/8 by 7 twice out of this, which I thought I wouldn't, so that's why I've got 2 pieces of card here. So hopefully that didn't, if you're used to working in inches, that probably came to you really quickly. I'm not used to working in inches. If we were working in centimetres, it'd have been, I was going to say I would have worked it out in a flash, but that could potentially be a lie. So that's 1/4, so that's an 1/8 there. So that's 6 1/8. I'm just going to go through those 2 sheets at the same time. It's alright, I will use that card for something else. And then we're going to do 7 this way. Okay, so that is our correct measurement one. Let's just check that. I've got 6. Sorry, that's 7. Yeah, by 6 1/8. Yeah, perfect. So put that out of the way for a minute. Get this in. So we are going to just write on this so that I don't get confused. I'm just going to put base. And we're going to put lid. So let's do the lid first because that's a true measurement. That's these here. And we know that each side is 1 and 1. The sides are going to be 1 and 1/8. So 1 and 1/8. And we're just going to go around all the way, just doing 1 and 1/8. There, and then this is the base. So this is not an accurate measurement. It is slightly shorter to make sure that it fits inside. So this is going to be 1 and 1/8. Well, the only problem I struggle with is working up rather than, because you can't work down because that's a different measurement up there. So that's there. That's 1 and 1/8. That's 1 and 1/8. Oh, you see, this is what goes wrong. 1 and 1/8. Much harder for me to hold it with my left hand. I think that's what the problem is. No, that's a 1, Dave. There's a go 1 and 1/8. And then this is 1 and 1/8. I know you all know that. I know that, but I'm just telling you. Anyway. Okay, so in theory, this will fit inside this. Let's cut this one first. So I won't score any of it just yet. Let's cut it this way around because I can see it better. I can see that line better. So cut that. And then what do I want? Do I want the flaps on? Yeah, on the same part. Either side. There. Go, and then we're just going to snip that bit out just so that we can, doesn't get in the way. Snippy snip, snippy snip. Everything is the flaming A-team. Snippy snip, snippy snip, snippity snip, snippity snip. Don't know why the A-team is like the prevalent song whenever I do anything. It's just a little bit still hanging over the edge of that. There we go. Take that off. So now let me put these lines in. Just use my proper bone folder, a Teflon one, because that way I won't leave any marks on the box lid. On the base, actually, this is the base, isn't it? Base, buttery biscuit base. Although he's an evil man these days. Greg Wallace, nobody talks about him anymore, so I need to shut that from my memory. So yes, we're going to fold all of these in. Then we won't have any moments of truth yet. We have to do this one first. So we'll do the same on this. So I know I accidentally ran a line, didn't I? I went kind of off kilter somewhere, but I can't remember where that was. That's there. It's not noticeable. I don't care about that. So they are tabs at the ends. So we're going to do tabs at the sides on this one so they don't get in the way of each other. There. Well, let's just cut that bit out now. There. There. For some reason, I feel like there's something missing today because, like, I'm very quiet. Oh, like in my head, it's quite quiet. So, yeah, that's actually what it is. It is all the stuff going on in my head isn't actually going on in my head. In my head at the minute. Normally, there's like everything going on. There's like me scanning for where there's a pun in a sentence, or me scanning for where there's a line of a song in everything. It's just constant. It never ends. My brain never shuts down. There's the moments where I'm reliving every stupid thing I've ever done and every stupid thing I've ever said, and it's a lot goes on in it. So because I mean, like, you know that I'm autistic, but actually that's not a common autistic trait. It's common for people with ADHD. So I wonder if they, because most people that have got the kind of things that I've got have been diagnosed with having autism and ADHD. Maybe they missed out on a diagnosis there. I don't want it now, so I'm not going to go back. I'm not going to go back for a refund and get more from my diagnosis. I'm just happy to be the way I am. Just the way I am. Do. See, don't go changing, trying to please me. No, shh, Dave. Shh. See, the voices are back, so yay! Just when you thought it was safe to go back in the water, Dave 2 appears. So yeah, my brain is constantly scanning for every possibility of inserting a pun into something, or to insert a line from a song into it. So all I can say is, I'm sorry. It's just the way oh no, don't say it again, Dave, because that song will go back through your head again, and then you'll have to say it and sing it again. Don't go, shh. Trying to please, shh. You never let me down, shh. Before. Nice and quiet now. This is when you have to like smile, nod, and step away slowly. So the pegs are just there to kind of just be the hands that I don't have, because I'm not an octopus. An octopus? So yes, I'm not an octopus. You're not an octopus? No, because I'm not. Because if I was, I'd be able to hold all of these and do this at the same time, and also get into a jar this big. And I struggle enough getting in and out of my car, let alone a jar. So I was thinking the other day, like, because you know that when my mum's money comes through and I'm going to buy myself a new car, that's not on the horizon yet because it's still in probate and it's all going through anyway. I was thinking about having a new car, and like, I'm just thinking I didn't want a low one. I wanted like an SUV. But I was thinking, yes, that's definitely the right decision, Dave, because I was struggling to get out of my car the other day. It's a normal size saloon, like, you know, height saloon, yeah, I find myself like going to get out, and I make the same sort of but it's much shorter when I've plonked myself in it. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do, because I don't want a small car. I'm not a fan of a small car, not personally anyway, because, like, you know, I've driven a fairly hefty car for a long time. Not hefty in the in the realms of American cars because they don't fit on our UK roads, but hefty for a UK car. Yeah, so like don't, your pickup trucks and stuff wouldn't fit on our roads because we have narrow, windy country roads that are really only wide enough for one vehicle, but actually they are two-way streets. So should go and check out people driving in the UK. Americans driving in the UK, definitely check that out because people are so surprised. And also, I know that everybody thinks that they can't drive in the UK because they wouldn't be able to get on with driving on the wrong side of the road. It's not the wrong side of the road, it's just the other side of the road, because there's no right and there's no wrong, but people do it all the time. Us in the UK, we go to Europe and we drive on the other side, they drive on the other side of the road to us, but we still manage to do it. So anyway, so don't discount yourself so much. What is going on with this? This is kind of, oh no, it is supposed to be there. I'm thinking it hooked up onto itself, but it has. It was meant to be hooked up onto itself, so it doesn't just have a big tail on it. Don't go. Shh, no, that's in my head now. I can't actually get that in that. Come on. No, I'm going to jab myself in the finger in a minute. So, not in protest. Just I was thinking it was going to happen. Anyway, let's undo those. This is the moment of truth. Does this actually work? Does this? Oh, that's the base. That's why. Yep, it goes on that. There's a bit of a. I feel like there's a bit of a something gone wrong there. That's not the right shape. I'm wondering which one is not square. Do I leave it? Well, no, I'll tell you what, this is what will tell me whether I can leave it or not, because whether it fits in here or not. Well, that fits. Oh, you know what I've done? I've put that in there now, and I don't know whether I can get it out now. Stupid boy. Oh, no, there you go. Does that one fit? Yeah. They both fit. So I don't understand. Something went wrong on something, because look, we've got a slight difference on that edge there. And is that because of the way I've glued it, or is it because of the way that I've scored it? Or is it, of course, it could be the way that I've cut it, because if that wasn't true, that's the problem with cutting two pieces of paper together, card together. That's what can happen. I mean, it's not horrible, and we want it to look a little bit homemade. I don't mind it. Actually, it doesn't actually fall out, so I'm not worried about it. Okay, fine. I'm happy to leave it. Get rid of the pegs. Pegs. So that is our box. Okay, well, I think what I'm going to do to the box is I will have kind of a little handle thing on it, which means that we'll put a ribbon on it to keep it closed. In fact, we might tie it with a ribbon. Tie a yellow ribbon round it. No, Dave, please stop. Stop that now. So, what I was thinking for the wells is, I was thinking about these. So, Vic absolutely loves pistachios. I mean, I don't mind them. They're not like things that I think, oh no, they're hideous, I wouldn't eat them. I love them. I just don't eat them like he does. He gets very excited about them, and he's a connoisseur of a pistachio. So these are salted pistachios, and I was thinking I could use it because we're trying to make it look like it's been made by somebody else. So I was thinking maybe we could use those. I will eat those, but I'm not going to eat them now because otherwise you'll be listening to me crunching and you didn't tune in for the ASMR. So I was thinking I could make these into little paint wells. I know they're going to be tiny in there, aren't they? That's the problem. but at the end of the day, I didn't want a huge thing. So we could have half of it as a paint well. We could put a little water well in, and then we could have a mixing palette. Maybe that's what we'll do. So let's just look at the size. So if I put 8 colours in, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, we could have a little well of water. Well, I never. And then we could have a little mixing palette. Okay, so now the thing is, how am I going to put those in? What we could do with is a little tray that lifts it up so that these aren't like very low down in it. And we might make that out of this, the offcut of card that I said I'd probably use that for something. So we know that this measures, this will be a little bit shorter than 1 and 8. Oh, sorry. What did I say? 4 3/4 by 3 7/8. I think this will be, yeah, 3 3/4 wide by 4 1/2. Okay, so we'll do it that way. We have a 4 3/4, 4 3/4, yeah. So let's just move those out of the way because I probably will use those. And let's get my other little thing that eludes me today. Why have you? Where are you? Hello. Come to me. Come on in. Where are you? Oh, there you are. Okay, so it doesn't work. So don't don't think. Oh, that's how you get them to recall. It doesn't work. So I'm just saying. So I would like it to be, again, we're going to get the measurement out. So we know it's 3 and, what did we say? 3 3/4, didn't we, that way? Yeah, 3 3/4. So we know it's 3 3/4. We want it to have a leg on 4 sides with a flap underneath. So what we want is we want the thing that we can put the holes in for the shells. We want a leg like support either side, on all the sides I mean, and then we want a tab at the very end to kind of tuck under and glue to the base. So we know that that is 3 3/4 that way. We know that we want the height of that to be, do I do it 1 and bring it up to the top? Or do I do it, no, let's do it 3, 2, I don't know now. What's that mark? I can't even, once I've taken the ruler away I can't tell. What's that? 7/8. 7/8. Let's do 7/8 because, like, of course, we're making this difficult, aren't we? So this is going to be 3 3/4. This is 7/8 because we're not looking for trouble at all. 7 7/8. And then we want the tab, and that just needs to be 1/2 inch. Do you want to be 1/2 inch? Yeah, 1/2 inch. Half. So 3. Oh dear, Dave, what are you doing here now? 3 3/4 plus half. Sorry, 3 3/4 plus 1, because 2 halves make 1. So let's tick those off. 2. That makes 4 3/4. And then this is when my brain goes, it's gone offline. I've got a 404 error. Oh, where's all my scrap pad stuff? Beep. Luckily, there's a piece of paper, just card randomly thrown on the floor. Let's pick that up. Let's try that again. So we've got 2 halves makes 1. We've got 2 lots of 7/8. So if we do make it up to 1, that makes that 6/8. So that's 1 6/8. And then we've got 3 3/4. So 3 3/4. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 5 as a whole number at the moment. Let's just keep that there. We have 3/4. 6/8 of an inch is where? Oh no, that's one. That's not an eighth. There. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 3/4. So we've got. Turn that into 3/4, Dave. Let's get rid of that. So we've got 1 plus 1, 3 stroke 4 plus 3, 3 stroke 4 equals 2 3/4 are 1 1/2, isn't it? 1 1/2, yeah. So now we've got this is getting complicated. 1 plus 1 1/2 plus 3. No, 2 1/2 plus 3. So we've got 1 plus 2 1/2. So that's that 1 plus the 3/4 plus the other 3/4 makes it 2 1/2 plus the 3, because we've removed it from this figure onto this figure, plus the 3. Oh my gosh, my brain has just melted, because this is the only way I can work out inches, and hopefully it's right. So that's 6 1/2. To breathe, Dave. You've got one of your measurements, one of your 2 measurements, woohoo, and then the next measurement is, that's a half. That's a, what did we say it was? 3, oh no, 7/8 of an inch. 7/8. Then we've got plus that width. Oh, that's the width that we don't have a figure for. We want it to be, let's go 3 wide. Yeah, 3 by 3 plus 7/8 plus a half equals 2 halves make 1. 2 7 7/8. 7 7/8. Take 1 off there. That's 6/8. So that's 1. No, Dave, just do this. So that's that, and that equals that. So plus 3. So get rid of that figure. That plus that equals 1 6/8, which is 3/4. So that equals 1 4 5 5 3/4. So we've got 6 1/2 and 5 3/4. If your brain hasn't imploded like mine, then I don't know what I've got rid of that for. I need that. No, I don't need that at the minute. I need to cut this. 4.5 days later, he's finally got his measurements. Oh, you see, that's not going to be wide enough now. Ow! Right, let's go 6 1/2 this way. go 5 3/4 this way. And then we throw that on the floor, nearly. And then we're going to go for half, a half measurement, and then we want 7/8 of an inch from there. So half. I want 7/8 of an inch from that mark. So that's half, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that is 1 and 1, 2, 3. 1 and 3/8. So that's 1 and 1, 2, 3/8. Is that right? Is that 1/8 of an inch? Let's just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's 1/8 of an inch, yeah. So 1, 2, 3. 1 and 3/8 of an inch. Okay. So we're going to go half and then 1 and 3/8. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to go half and then 1, 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to go half and then 1, 1, 2, 3. So let's cut these now. Get out of my way. So this has been a 5-hour long video with me just working out calculations. Apologies, folks. But we have to get here somehow. I'm just thinking, does this look like it's going to fit? Indeed. So that one, that's a side piece, so that needs to just be cut out. That needs to cut out. That one we need to cut out. And then that one we need to cut out. Right, so don't pull towards you with a pair of scissors in your hand, Dave, because like you'll end up like it going like that, and you end up stabbing yourself in the eye. So we need to cut this edge off. Is that right? That's going to fold in, and that's going to fold round. That's going to fold in, and that's going to fold round. So yes, that needs to. Oh, we've got tabs that I didn't expect to have, but like that's fine. We can utilize the tabs. So let's cut the outer limits off. These are the outer limits. I'm sure, that was the outer limits. Was that not like the Twilight Zone? Again, my brain is firing. All the neurons are currently working out, trying to remember whether that was an actual TV program or you were making it up, Dave. How have I got a different size tab this side? That's because you've worked something out wrong, Dave. That isn't going to fit in there, because if those measurements are right, that's not going to fit. No, it's not, because that should have been a different measurement somehow. How is that a different measurement, Dave? Because that's a different measurement. That's why, because that's not the one there. That's the one there. 1, 2, 3. It should have gone there. So actually, that should have been cut there. Oh well, let's just see what happens. Could I put... You're going to see it. Oh, you first class moron. So this is take 2. So what do I need? So the measurements I need are 6.5 by 5 3/4. Move that out of the way. Put this back into shot. So we want to do half, and then 1 and 1, 2, 3/8, and half, and 1 and 1, 2, 3/8, half, 1, 1, 2, 3/8, and then half, and then 1 and 1, 2, 3/8. So let's try that again. So if I've decided to cut out my previous attempt at this, I'm telling you now, this is my second attempt. If I've left it in, you'll know that, but if I have cut it out, I'm telling you that I've already been here once, and I miscalculated one of the measurements. Not miscalculated one of the measurements, actually, just miscalculated where to score it. I'd looked at the wrong line and scored it on the wrong line, so it wouldn't have fitted, so I got rid of it. So get off me. So, because I'm dobbing myself in. Well, you know me, I like being honest, so I couldn't have fooled you for very long. I tried to fool you. So that's that. So then I want to cut that off. I don't need a tab at the side. Oh, it doesn't. What? Hang on. Let me think. No, I don't need that. That bit can go. That bit needs to go. What the heck am I doing here? I don't know. Cut that off, and like that. That needs to go like that, and that needs to go off like that. But that is a tab. Oh, no, that's not a tab. That can go. That can go all the way then. And that can go to there, and then that can come off like that. That can go like that, and then cut that off. That's a tab, so that can be shaped as such. 2 reasons for shaping a tab. 1, because it helps not get in the way of the line, and 2, it helps you remember it's a tab and you're not confused about what the heck this is for. And then another tab. Lots of bits come off this. When you're making boxes, you get lots of tiny bits floating around. Then we're going to do this, because this is a tab. And here. There. So let's fold all those lines in, and hopefully this will fit. I should fold that in as well. This is going to be our insert, a bit like a chocolate box insert, just to raise the thing up. So let's hope that all kind of curls in together. It does. Does it fit in there? You better have everything crossed. There you go. Does it? Does it? Some kind of a statement and a question all at the same time. Does it fit in there? It does. Am I happy? I am. Cool. Okay, so I I've just realised why it's slightly snug, and that's because I should have scored it on the bottom line thing. But never mind, I can just reshape this just ever so slightly, just so it fits better and it doesn't cause the box to bulge. So we're just going to rescore that bit there. Put a line on there, and that way then it should fit better, and we'll just take that tiniest bit off that edge there. Remember, we're trying to make this look like a homemade thing. From yesteryear, they wouldn't have had the exact measurements. They probably would have done it without any measurements. They would have done it by eye. So that should pull that bit in. That means I've got to rescore that thing, otherwise it'll lift slightly at one end. I just need to account for that. I'm just going to rescore that and cut the end of that off as well. Tab and that tab. And that's just going to fold in there. And that folds in there. Yeah, that's fine. And then that should, right, okay, let's oh no, do I want to glue it down yet? No, because I want to have, in this space here, I want to figure out how my little shells are going to be. So it's quite convoluted, this, I realise. So we've got 3 inches. No, don't do it in pen, Dave. We've got 3 inches. So half of 3 inches is 1.5, sorry. I'll go 1.5 at the bottom here as well. We're just going to draw a line on there. Get rid of the line shortly. And then we want to cut that, and we want to do that into half as well. So what's that? 3 3/4, which, you know, we know is a pain in the arse. Sorry, let's just put that on there. Let's go for, no. Half of 3 is 1.5. Half of 3/4 is, so we now know that is 6 6/8 of an inch. So 3/8 of an inch is half of that. So we know it's 3.5 plus 3/8. 3.5. Sorry, 1.5, not 3.5. 1.5 plus 3/8. 1, 2, 3. So that is the middle there. So that's 1. So 1/8 of an inch under 2, which is 1 7/8 of an inch. That's the middle of there. And then we want to go the middle of those as well. So one of those is now 1 and we got 1 7/8 of an inch. Yeah, 1 7/8 of an inch. Half of 1 is half. Half of 7/8 of an inch is no idea. 7/8 of an inch is there. That's 7/8 of an inch. So half of 7 is 3.5. So that's 1, 2, 3 and a half, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 16ths. So half plus 7 16ths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which is 15 16ths of an inch. Because I like to just charge myself 15 16ths, which is about there. I'll do the same on that side. 15 16ths. 15 16ths. Like that. And then we'll do this on this side. Fifteen sixteenths. Oh no, that's not that there. That's that there. And then 15 sixteenths is there. So then those together, I mean, it's not going to be perfect because my accuracy is, I can't really see the measurements on here anymore because my eyesight is not as good as it was when I was in my younger days. That's why young people should take junk journaling before their eyesight fails them. It's not perfect. In fact, I can tell that this gap is bigger than this, but do you know what? I'm not going to get very upset about it. In fact, it's very much out. So I'll just try and jiggle it. So I need to make a little hole in each of these spaces. The reason for that is we just got a rounded base, and if it's got a hole to sit in, it'll stop it rocking and we can glue it down better. So I want to see if I've got a bigger thing to make a hole with. No, this has got the biggest one on there, haven't I? Yep. Let's push all of those bits out of there. Okay, so we're going to go, I'm going to eyeball it for the middle, and then just that one. It's not very big, is it? Maybe we need the, what's it called? The big fella. This one, this dusty thing, because I haven't got it out for a while. Is that a bigger hole? I beg your pardon. Is that a bigger hole? Which one? Yeah, that one. Is that bigger than this? Marginally bigger. Marginal. But I can't see it. That's the problem. I can see it with this. We're going to do that there. That one. We'll go for there and there and there and then this one is going to go there and there. So, not perfect, I realise. But we are not going for perfection, are we? So, we're going to glue this together. No, we're going to rub those lines out first, Dave. Then we're going to give it some age. Ow, punch myself in the chest. Give it a little bit of age. Just give it a little zhuzh over. Basically over the surface really first. You're not going to see all of this because it's going to be covered in pistachio shells. The other thing I could have used is some shells, but I don't have any shells. So, I shall not. But, okay, shut up, Dave. You know me, I think I'm funny, so... The jury is out as to whether everybody else thinks I am, so that's fine. That's absolutely fine. So, I will do all of the edges and things shortly. I want to glue this down first, though. So, get this. Really have glued every bit right at the same time, but never mind, I have. here we are. I've already done that. Okay, that's all glued in. Oh no, it isn't. It's come unglued. It's because the ink's wet. So that should fit now in there, which it does. Cool. Okay. And so then, I think do I glue it down now? Yeah, let's just glue it down now. What I'm just going to do is I'm just going to snip towards the corner from, with those overlaying, and that way then they don't get in the way of each other. You don't get that crossover. Oh, no, you see that didn't go very well. There we go. And that just means that they line up without that bit, those bits getting in the way of each other. Cool. So we'll put. Oh no, don't put that on there, Dave. You want to make it look old. So you want to just go around and make it look a bit grungy around on the corners, edges, I mean, and the corners. Specifically between those corners as well. Down on those bits. There we go. So I'm going to glue these tabs to glue it into the box. Oh, you know what I should have done before I did that? Pick the side that I'm gluing it in, which is this side, and just glue, just ink on that edge that you're going to see. Because it would look weird if that's all aged and grungy and the sides of this aren't. Something a bit darker now. Walnut stain. You're not going to see one side of it, so I'm not going to worry about both sides. Cool, so I'm going to stick this on this side. Right, let's get this re-glued now. That's going to go in there. close up to that edge as I can. I might even just put a bit of glue just down there between the box edge and the insert. The same with there. Just so that it kind of just hugs that box a bit better. Hugs the insert, I mean. Cool. So, just going to hold that because I don't have a clip big enough. I could have used an elastic band if I'd thought about it. I didn't think about it, so I don't have one ready. So, that is going to be where our little shells sit. I'm going to sit on there. I'm going to turn my hot glue gun on because that's what I'm going to glue the shells in with. And then we'll fill them. Now the thing is, we're going to fill them with some watercolour that is wet. So we're going to fill it with some like tubes of watercolour. They will dry out, but then they will become a little palette. So what I want to do is just want to pick out all the bits of loose shell from here while we're waiting for that to heat up. I think it was a genius idea thinking of using pistachio shells. I was actually thinking I'm going to have to use some kind of little plastic cup of some kind, or a plastic dish, or make an acrylic something, but then it struck me this would be perfect. So this is what we're going to do. So I don't know much about watercolour. I'm hoping that this will do the thing, that if I use these tubes of watercolour and I put that in there and let it dry out, let the completely dry out, then it will be something you can rehydrate with some water. You know, that's my theory anyway. So in here we want to have a little vessel, a vessel in which to put some water. We want it again to make it look old. So do I make a little, or do I try and make it? That's the thing. Or do I use something I already have? If I'm using something I already have, what do I already have? I've got this. I've got these. Oh, that fits in there. How big is that? How big is the circumference of that? Well, you would be, wouldn't you? Oh no, you're 1¼ inches. Could I, should I, would I? Captain. Let's cut this one out. Easier said than done. Cut that one out. Put that away. And then, if I... Oh, this is going to be another box in the making. If I made a box for it to sit in there... But you don't know what the measurement is now. It's 1.5. So if you make a box that's 1.5 by 1.5 with a depth of, what did I say that was? 7/8. Here we go with the maths again. So I'll probably edit this video quite heavily, to be fair. I need to cut that out in the middle of there. How am I going to do that? Oh, I've got that little circle maker, haven't I? Except this is in centimetres, because, you know, we like it to make it difficult for me. So what is 1¼ inches is... 3.3 centimeters. 3 point. Oh, there is no micro marks on here. No, I've just moved it, so let's try that. So the middle of this. Let's do the middle of this then. So that's the middle of there. That should go all the way around now. You want the middle, Dave. That's not the middle. That's the middle. Okay, so does that now fit in there? Please fit in there, please fit in there, please. Oh, come on. No! Doesn't! Right, so what I'm going to do then is I'm going to just cut a few little tabs in it. This has been epic, hasn't it? Hopefully you're still here and you're still with me. I'd normally have filmed my next video by now. However, that's not happening. I'd normally have be filming, well, I would have finished filming Wednesday's video normally by now, but like I say, not happening. Not today. So that should then just allow for that, which it does, which means I just now need to cut this down. So it needs to have some off. It needs to have some off this side. So a little bit off there. And a lot of bit off there. Get that off there. It's all gone staticky now. So that can be our little water bowl in there. You know what? I'm just gonna cut those corners off. I think. If they go in my little clipper trimmer thing, I will do that. But I don't know if it will. No, it won't. So I'm just going to round these corners so it's not sharp. We don't mind this looking like it's been replaced at a later date with a newer thing, so that's the whole point of a junk journal. You're making it out of the stuff that you've got rather than buying more. That looks like it needs to be cut down a bit more, actually. Just reshape that then. Reshape that one. Hopefully that will now go in there and not hang out too much over either side. No, that's fine. Good. Okay, so what we'll do then is we will put it together. Oh no, we'll make it. Should we make it inky first? No, we'll put it together first and then we'll make it inky because it doesn't have enough strength to hold itself. It better fit. That's the that's the only thing we don't know, isn't it? Whether it fits or not. Meanwhile, my hot glue gun is oozing out, but never mind. I should have rubbed off those pencil marks as well before I put it together, but hey. Once I realised it was working, I got too excited and started on the gluing it together bit. Don't go in the glue. Getting very close to it, you naughty thing. There we go. That one's much easier to hold on to. Do that again. Corner. There we go. Cool. Right. So that can go. Hopefully fits in there. Please fit in there. It does. It's fine. I don't care whether it's perfect or not. I'll just ink this down. Not going to see much of this. You're just going to see one side. So we're going to pick that side that we're going to see, and we'll ink that. There we go. We're going to see this side of it. We'll do it with a bit of that as well. Cool. Oh dear, which lids have got which? That's vintage photo. Cool. So then I'm going to glue all the way around this and on this edge. Get rid of that flaming dot. Oh. I'm not going to hot glue this because I'm worried it might melt if I hot glued it. Got that into there. Push it down. Ah, push it. Push it. Dave. Do 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 do. Yes, we know that was Salt and Pepper that sang that. Put that there, that on there, and that holds that together. Right, in the meantime, let's sort these out because we never got this far, did we? So maybe put the glue on the hole and stick the pistachio shell on there, on the hole. Pistachio shell's very hot and melty. This is dribbling hot and meltiness. Shouldn't have left it really this long to be on. It's not really very safe being in close proximity. Taking one for the team. Cool, there we go, that's that. So let's turn that glue gun off. And then let's get rid of these stringy bits. very sticky. I don't know whether. Get off me. I know it's got lots of little tails of glue gun, but we can get those off. We can always put a heat gun on it and lose it that way. So that's that. Hopefully this is, well, if it's not glued, it's gluing. We've got the bit that's going to stick out. That's that bit. I want something on either side, on all of these sides. I mean, like, if that doesn't glue it down, we'll just use some hot glue on it like I didn't want to do. So that's that. We've got a little water well there, and then this bit here, I was thinking maybe having a mixing palette. That means I've got to do another box. This time I think I might just come back to you once I've done it. It's 2 inches, so 2 by 1. What did I say that one was? 1.5. 2 by 1.5. Okay, so I'm going to make this on my own, so I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so I've made this little box here. What I wanted to do though is I'm just going to cover it over in some clear plastic, but I'm just going to use some thick basil tape to do that, because that's going to be our mixing palette. Okay, so we don't need it to be an actual mixing palette because it's unlikely to get used as a mixing palette, but we want it to look like it is. So all I'm doing is maybe I shouldn't have coloured the top of that. Maybe that should have been white. That measures 2.5, I believe. Where is the roller, Dave? 1.5. It's slightly out at the top, but never mind. By 2. So if I just cut a piece of, maybe that piece there might be perfect. Where are you? Over here. Let me cut you down. Alright, I have more. Got loads of this card. This is my prototype card, prototype making card. So we're going to go for 2. Shouldn't have cut that whole thing there. By 1.5. That's the half Dave, not that. Yeah, like that. So I'm going to stick that to there. It's going to be our little paint palette, paint mixing palette thing, whatever it's called. And then we're going to cover it in a bit of this. Nope, you are right, Dave, that way. Cut that bit off. Cut that bit off, get rid of that off my thing. Then do that, 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 and that. Don't think that one was close enough. There we go. And fold those bits down. And that bit down. And that bit down. And there we go. That's our paint palette. And that should go in there. Yep, I think it will. we go. So that's our paint palette. Okay, so let's rub this off the top and then just age this down a bit. So I'll come back to you after I've aged it, so bear with me. There we go. I have inked it down. I've made it look a little bit older. Not so happy with the inside. I will come back to the inside. So, and now all I need to do is put some paint into the thing so that we can let it dry. I have decided I'm going to tie it with some string. I have some string here. Actually, it's kind of woven string. It's really weird stuff. It's just, it came off some packaging, so you know what we like, us people, us crafty people. We come up with some crazy ideas and we then go around collecting bits to make them. So anyway, I'm going to put some of these colours into the little wells. Let's hope I can. Oh dear, that's not going to help. That is very liquid, and it's just the liquid. It's not even the colour. So I need to like get rid of that. Absorb all of that out of there. To do with a cloth, actually. I don't want to make it any wetter than it needs to be. I haven't used these watercolours ever, so hence the reason why they've separated. Cool. So okay, let's give these a bit of a. They obviously need a bit of a mix then. How do you mix a watercolour in a tube? Impossible, I would have thought. How do we do that? I really don't know. I think I'm just gonna have to get rid of the liquid. We don't want the liquid in there anyway, do we? We want the colour. That's the colour there. Yep, we want that. So I'm gonna go for that. A blob of that in there. Just check with all of these now then that they're not all separated. No, that's not separated. So we'll go with red. Obviously you have to have some yellow because what's that? That's citron. Yeah. Citron? The car? No. That colour, or we've got a different colour. We've got this one. I'll use that one. Might use some of the other as well, but there you go. That. We've got some, what's this, orange. Yep. Orange. Obviously we'll have to wait until the, I tell you what, why don't you just run yourself through all of the colours. Alright then, you will do. That's a crimson, that's green. Is this one really, yeah, that one's already started to dry up, so. Oh, it's got one of them peaks, a peak on it. I'll use some, yeah, that's separated a bit. What's that, ochre? Yeah, ochre. And then we'll use some crimson. Oh, well, we'll use that other yellow as well then. Use some crimson. And some yellow. Some other yellow, this one. And then I think I need to kind of just smooth it out a little bit, because otherwise it'll stick all to the lid. Kind of want to smooth it out anyway to kind of cover the shell. Could do with something a bit more. Maybe a paintbrush might do it. Paintbrush might do it. Do I have a paintbrush to do it with? wipe it off on now. I feel really chuffed with how this has turned out. Oh dear. That one is very thick, that. Cool, there we go. So, that's our little paint pot. Let's get rid of this because I'm just going to put my arm in that. Stick that in the bin. So that's that. That's going to go on there, obviously. Well, I will leave it off when I'm leaving it to dry, but what we'll do is I'll just show you what we've got string wise. Hopefully this will all still fit in the thing. Like that. And that is going to go in here. And that should fit in there, which it does beautifully. And there we go, we have our little paint palette now. So next time I think what we'll do is we will make the envelopes to go in there. So I think Wednesday's One Sheet Wonder won't be a Wednesday One Sheet Wonder. I mean, like, this might change. I want to make some glassine. I want to make some more, so I need some more glassine because I've run out. Some more glassine, some more sellotape, and a few of the little bits that I wanted to get done so that I could finish the rest of this. So anyway, that's it for today. So thank you very much for spending some time with me. By the way, this colour was also the same as the other one. It was crimson, so I didn't use that one. Oh, could have used some black, but I didn't. I've just found the black, which is here. But never mind. So yeah, so there we go. That's our little paint palette that we've made now for the Lapbook. So that's this. So it just opens up. We've got our book. We'll make. I am going to ink that down so it looks older. We're going to make something to go in there, which is probably going to be some envelopes, and then this is our little paint palette, which we will open back up again for the benefit of a photo it'll need as well for the thumbnail, and then we just open it up. Now what I should have done, maybe I should do, oh look, you see, I knew that might happen, but never mind, it's fine. It's all part and parcel of the wonder that is the crafty side of things. What I am going to do is I'm just going to do a thumb notch in there. Oh, no, I'm not. It had other ideas. So a thumb notch in there, and then just do one in the other side as well. That just because it makes it easier for me to take the lid off. So they're going to go on there. So that means I can just open it up now like that. And that's it. So that's our little paint palette. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you feel a bit inspired. You might go and do something now. I hope you like the way this is turning out. And yes, so I will see you all in the next video. So thank you very much for watching. My name is Dash of Dave, and I love you all without exception until you give me a reason not to. So don't give me a reason not to. I'll see you very soon. Take care, folks. Lots of love. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Lots of hugs. And I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye. Bye.